Right, whenever you're comfortable, you can begin.
All right, let's see a show of hands. Who here listens to music when you get sad? Raise your hand. Or angry, or happy. Think about your favorite song really quick. First song pops in your head. Does it make you happy? Chances are, yeah. Why would you listen to something that's going to make you feel horrible? Who does that? That right there is a prime example of what music therapy is all about. Making someone feel better through the use of musical intervention, usually in a clinical setting, in a quantifiable sense or measurable sense, so that it can be measured how music is affecting one's mood, one's pain level, one's outlook on life, basically. I've had a lot of experience through music. I'm a music instructor, a teacher. I've studied a lot of music. I've performed a lot of music. I've performed in stadiums, concert halls, classrooms, fields, and taught in a lot of the same places too. And usually in the smaller settings, I've been able to notice more of the one-on-one correlation that music has an effect on someone. Usually in nursing homes, usually in hospitals, you can really see the effect that music has on somebody up close. Let's take a look at how music has affected medicine in that way, both in the history, back in history, what it's doing right now, and some of the things that we have to look forward to. Where did music therapy come from, or where did music and medicine really come from? Think back way in antiquity, 1200 BCE to around 600 BCE. There were things called rituals, rites, Eleusinian mysteries, Magna Mater mysteries, lots of different Dionysian mysteries. All of these things were religious cult gatherings that incorporated a lot of eating, drinking, other kinds of frivolity, as well as music. Music was used in the form of rudimentary tambourines, lutes, harps, things of that were easily made. It wasn't until later, around the time of Asclepius, who was seen as either a demigod or god of medicine, that music was really more integrated into medicinal practices. Later on in history, music as a therapy comes along after World War I and World War II. Not really until after the wars, when things like the USO show would come and play for the veterans, playing for nursing homes and hospitals, things of those variety. That's when there was a discernible difference on veterans' outlooks, people who lost limbs, people who were just in chronic pain generally. Some of the practical applications today, as a result of those USO shows and musical intervention on our veterans after World War I and World War II, are beginning to become prevalent on Alzheimer's patients. And because there's been a lot more study on Alzheimer's recently, including a lot more of the facets of dementia in elderly people, they're exploring more of the possibilities involving music as a soothing technique and to help them relax into remembering a lot of the things that are out of their grasp as a result of Alzheimer's. Along with that, in today's practical application, substance abusers and people in chronic pain who might suffer from phantom limb syndrome or just have to chronically take a substance because of some, again, chronic pain, are exploring musical outlets in lieu of taking more and more substance or more and more chemicals. A lot of times, as referenced by the American Music Therapy Association, they're used in conjunction with a placebo effect, where they're given a placebo and given a regimen of some type of music to listen to that they've shown to have a positive effect on. And from there, it's still in the early stages, but they're determining what kind of relevance it has in helping them feel better as opposed to just a strict chemical alternative. Going forward, what are some of the treatments available in the future? What's going on as far as research and development into music therapy? Well, there's something called melodic intonation therapy, which deals with one note in particular. Melodic intonation therapy is being used for people with Down syndrome, people who have developmentally disabled diseases, and it's helping them by focusing on one note or one note that's seen to that they've seen to have a positive reaction to. It's helping them to enhance their vocal capacity or develop vocal pathways that they haven't previously had. Along with that, exploring the brain itself. There's been a big leap recently in the neuroscience study by Debbie Carroll in her book, get ready for this, A Study of the Effectiveness of an Adaptation of Melodic Intonation Therapy in Increasing the Communicative Speech of Young Children with Down Syndrome. That's her book. It's very similar in, who's heard of the Human Genome Project, where they're mapping DNA, basically, of the human. They're doing a lot of the same things with the brain. How many years have we been studying the brain and we still haven't scratched the surface as to why things work the way they do? We're starting to understand how they do, but why? Music is being shown to link very specific things in the brain as far as behavior, which we've kind of scratched the surface on that. Emotions, which you've seen just by raising your hand, listening to something makes you happier or sad. And pain. Now that's the interesting thing. How can music make pain go away? That's really what's on the frontier as far as music therapy right now, in conjunction with neuroscience. Along with that, continued improvements in physical therapy, people who have lost limbs, the same things along the lines as World War I and World War II and the Vietnam War, people who have phantom limb syndrome, not only helping them aid in their pain, but getting rid of it completely. That's what's on the frontier. More and more people these days are getting interested in music therapy. Why? Because it's something that's unknown. Pretty much everything that needs to be known about music itself has been studied or is continuing to be studied. But as it relates to science and medicine in particular, that's one of the true unknowns in both fields right now. Music therapy had its roots in treating the injured from the Great Wars and has moved on to specializing in terminal cases such as cancer, Alzheimer's, and other debilitating cases. Even today, there's thousands of people benefiting from therapy programs offered by accredited institutions focusing on rehabilitative therapy, including but not limited to mental and physical trauma. There's a saying in the musical world, and now I guess it applies in the music therapy world, that music heals the mind and the soul. With music therapy, that's exactly what they're trying to do. Thank you.